Mirage, map number 2 between 5Power and UNIQUESTARS. UNIQUESTARS 1-0 up on Train, which was always going to be a difficult one for 5Power. But what is not going to be difficult when you have so many stand-ins on your team? I believe Ponct is a stand-in as well for 5Power, but one stand-in is better than 3, that's for sure.
Ponct? Wait, sorry, what? You mean for UNIQUESTARS?
Yes.
Right. You said for 5Power. You confused me. I'm easily confused.
No, I said Ponct is a stand-in as well. One stand-in is better than 3 because 5Power have 3 stars that stand-in.
Stop this, James. What's going on?
You confuse me. Shut up.
There's too much confusion going on here. And that might be the name of the game for 5Power on Mirage, because it will be a bit of just Puggy strats. I mean, it has to be right. You can't have those super elaborate, fakes and whatnot, and really, finely tuned timings and coordinations on pushes. It's going to have to be a lot of intuition and just good chemistry, and you don't always have that in a makeshift environment such as this. But Mirage can be a pretty awesome map if there is a few rounds which you find successful. Like perhaps maybe in practice they've decided, okay, we're going to have a default. We set up a default. There's lots of ways to mid-round and play off of that. That's a good start. Having an A round, that's a good start. Having a B round as well, having a B split, all these kinds of things. But we'll let the play do the talking for us as we begin to see exactly what 5Power have to bring to bear as we enter the pistol rounds. And Insanity will be leading the charge, it would seem, on that T side towards the B bomb site. And Specs has gone undiscovered. And he'll get one sip. Oh, that's a very nice second one.
Very nice indeed, but there are a crucial few seconds for 5Power. I would say to plant the bomb, but no one's picked up the bomb after it's been dropped. They're looking to thin these numbers, but now it is Shao Sage on his own for 5Power. Power of 1. Might just be good enough. He doesn't really have the range with the Glock for a one-shot, but as you can see there, the headshot will do around 80 damage. 79. And now Nertz is rotating, so that's interesting. I wonder if they were both seen in the same position. They're both rotating, in fact. That may give them an extra man. Let's have a look. Nertz delivering the kill, ready, waiting, lining, and firing.
Yeah, he's been pretty reliable for UNIQUESTARS so far, and getting to start with good money. It's going to be so encouraging. There's nothing better than starting off a Mirage game, winning that CT pistol, and then winning against the force buy. that's the. It's not enough, of course, just to win against the pistol. You've got to make sure you do not get crushed by these force buys. So that's obviously the next step. But you will be able to get that orb rolling in very quickly, and that's going to present a lot of interesting options when it comes to conditioning your opponents. When you have the orb out first, a lot of dynamics to talk about there. But we'll see a very light investment here. Of course, the bomb did go down. Oh, nice. Oh! Just a clean snap there, coming in right at the end for an extra kill.
Nice.
That is beautiful. Now that the AKs are out, that's actually kind of a problem. I mean, we can see how much money was cost UNIQUESTARS there, so they won't be too happy about that one.
Now we can see if 5Power have a default and what these plays will be like. Especially mid-round, mid to late round, I would imagine will be very difficult, especially in the rounds where they don't necessarily have a man advantage. We've got gimmicks from Ponct, matchmaking strats.
Yeah. One
kill, I don't think is enough in that situation.
No, yeah, and also because 5Power in this horrible spot where so this is the stand-in factor, right? So they started off. Oh, okay. I might not even get a chance to talk about that. Kuka able to do some good damage. And they will wrap into the A bomb site through connector. This is a very powerful push here coming in from 5Power as they need to take down Nertz. He's just sitting on default. Can they somehow get rid of him? Of course, you can spot this position.
Ooh.
Oh, man, he's so violent, isn't he?
He's on his own forever. There was no rotation from Inferno. He wasn't convinced that the bomb was necessarily going to A, but surely Specs will not be expected on the T-ramp position. Still no plant, and they start to wonder. Inferno can't commit to the creep here. Through the crawl space. Specs doesn't have the weapon for the job. And that will get Inferno to make a play towards the jungle position, but of course he will get taken up because Insanity is waiting. That's great presence of mind from 5Power. We saw a similar round yesterday, actually. And it's cool that we see that even with these stand-ins. So That has put 5Power in a great position to break UNIQUESTARS immediately.
Yeah, they definitely have the firepower. That was spoken about on the desk previously, and Insanity will close it down. Just a massive advantage on weaponry, good peek. And I was going to mention that, you know, because I agree with you. I think that gimmick smoke was unnecessary because 5Power did not have the requisite grenades to do anything in middle, but they went middle anyway. And then by the time they were finished with middle and Nerds died, they had 2 flashbangs left, and you know, there was so much time in the round. That's a really bad spot to be in as a T's, but the CTs gave up a player, and everything started to collapse in around that. And so that's a really big problem. 5Power now have full control of Mirage. Might be a while till we see some of the orbs. Kazi will back away there.
He'll be an interesting sniper to watch.
Yeah.
On this map. When the time comes.
Will be fun to watch him having free reign, for sure. Everyone receiving chunks. Chunks replenished. 2 rounds either side, and AWP into an Arquez. He was
naked.
top fragger in the last map, but we saw some ups and downs. We saw some easy shots missed. Didn't look as clean as Kaze on the AWP.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised. I think, like, yeah, we saw him strafe a few times before shooting, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's quick on the strafing here, considering he has no Kevlar. But if you believe in your shot, then your commitment, you will be true. The spray is there from Ponks, but he pulls his knife out, taken out from the upper area. A jump from the sandwich position. Look at the spray from Specs. That's a nice kill, which cannot be responded to. Shalsage is by the bench position. There are questions towards CT. And Kuka needs to get this bomb down quickly because those smokes are disappearing. The bomb's on the floor now, and there's only 2 plays left here for 5Power versus 4 CTs. So that's going to be a problem. Shalsage makes it more expensive for UNIQUESTARS, but they do win the round. They hold the AWP, and now Annikez can buy some Kevlar.
Must be nice getting that.
Touch my hand.
Those ceramic plates strapped around your body. It's so interesting to put some proper Kevlar on. It's not comfortable, man. Not comfortable. Right, and Arquez on the AWP, and Nuts going for a fast push with the MP7. Like that skin. I'm a fan.
Moving accuracy. He gets, well, he tries to reload, but he has absolutely 0 support in mid, Nuts.
Yeah.
So there's nobody to cover him while he reloads. Just the 1 kill. Again, 1 for 1. The CT plays in mid is not enough.
No, it's helpful for the T's. It's actually really, really helpful for the... It's really helpful for a team that's playing with stand-ins. And because if you make it a slow round where they don't have much utility and they have to try to execute into a site...
That is quite a shot.
That's really difficult to do with a team of stand-ins. So... You know, you're right. They're giving 5Power a little bit too much of an opportunity to get into the round by just trading 1 for 1 in mid, which helps the T's for sure. This is still a doable round for 5Power. They've got good positioning. Looking to go with the triple pronged attack, and look at it. Specs gets annihilated. Kaze was just sitting, waiting for the opportunity.
That's a huge frag onto Kaze. That was really strong map control held by the T's there, but as you can see, they ran out of steam towards the end. But again, it's all eyes on these plays in mid from UNIQUESTARS. It seems like half committed just to send 1 guy in there on his own. But now they have put 5Power in pistol territory. Flashbangs will be collected by 5Power, and it seems it will be a play towards the B bomb site. No smoke grenades, just flashes. So I imagine it's a contact play, but once you get towards the window, I think you need to well, start to charge and get a flashbang out the window, off the wall as well. It's a very strong one to throw. They want to throw on this occasion, but they do have the late flashbang. The timing is good there for the T's. They don't flash their own teammate, which is very easy to do on Mirage B with those late flashbangs. Annikez holding a line. This is an important line to hold as well, to make sure nobody makes it towards that bench position. He is continuing to charge forwards now as the wipeout quickly comes in. That's one thing to bear in mind. There's many situations like that. For example, if you're an arch on Inferno, to hold a line while your teammates rotate to make sure T's don't get towards the pit side, which looks onto short, or there on Mirage to stop the T's making their way towards bench, and so on and so forth. Makes it a lot easier for the retake.
And UNIQUESTARS are stabilizing. Will Nuts continue to run up mids and trade 1-for-1? Will Arquez stay true to his shots? Will 5Power have a solid push into the A bomb site with these grenades? All the questions to be answered here in this round as Kaze starts things off well with a pick, and that will completely announce the intentions here. And Arquez with the first miss. That's not going to be all that helpful here for UNIQUESTARS. They don't get a single kill as the T's start to barrel into the bomb site. Ponct will arrive through connector, but both he and his teammates, Infernal, are very locked out of these positions. That was pretty rough.
This is a pricey one, isn't it?
Yes.
It's a pricey one.
It hurts. It burns.
He's paying retail, no discounts for the CT side. So that was an opportunist play. Two-man push was attempted by UNIQUESTARS in the Palace position, and I presume both players were heard. The first player was quickly dispatched of, but then you saw the bait with the jumping. That from Kaze. That's beautiful bunny hopping. His mouse wheel was incredibly on point. Well-oiled. That's quite the trade frag from ShellSage. A strong round from 5Power. Now, UNIQUESTARS may have to give them more respect in this round, as there's no real money in the hole here for the CT side. And Arquez on the table support. Old school jump peek. Don't see that very often anymore. Kaze is back in that Palace position with the AWP. So you saw him, he just jumped into position and he scoped in. If you look at, say, a Fallen in the Palace position at the beginning of a round, he will scope in at the beginning of the Palace and then walk scoped in so as not to reveal his position. If you get towards the A side of Palace and then scope, if somebody's playing close like Specs is in the shadow position, for example, then you will compromise your position and they are prepared for it, and you won't catch somebody off guard as you otherwise would. Infernal capitalizing on a flashbang from a teammate. Very nice stuff. Two-man advantage now for UNIQUESTARS.
There's not too much positioning really going for them either. 5Power, they have Insanity on short. I don't know that he's been spotted. Well, he has now, and that's him gone. And that position on short may start to have UNIQUESTARS wondering about what exactly that means. They will rotate an extra player here towards the B site for defense, and that's a beautiful, a very well-timed incendiary, and that really, I mean, there's no way, there's just no time here, so they will back away and hold on to what they have, but I guess they could force buy around it actually next round, because ShellSage has a decent amount of money. ShellSage could actually drop a Galil and still get the AK with nades for the next round, I think. Yeah. So they can buy. Losing the AK is a big deal. They're gonna go. Looks like they are going for it. Will ShellSage drop a Galil? What are they up to here? He can still drop a Galil. Okay, I feel like he should have dropped a Galil.
Tell me how you feel.
Because he could still have...
Oh, he's got to get that one. Look at his charge from Anakiz. That's not a time to miss a shot. There are trade fraggers here. Oh, that is... looked a bit panicky to me. And this is not the round to do that for UNIQUESTARS. The trades continue all over the place. This is a very fast round. We have 3 players alive with 1:35 on the clock. There's Infernal now in a 1 versus 1. And Kaze running back towards the B bomb site, as is Infernal. He will be in position way before, so he can cut the noise. And you can see Kaze running all the way, so this will be free for Infernal. Well positioned. Uh-oh, he's given Kaze half a chance. 30 HP. The grenade doesn't hit the mark, and now Infernal has to be afraid. Kaze's quite the sniper. That is quite the shot, though, straight in the face. An expensive round, but they will prevail, Unique Stars.
Yeah, really fast contact play is a favorite on Mirage, and it almost worked. It almost got them over the line there. That was so important. I mean, this is sort of a 2-for-1 situation going on there. So, pivotal round collected by Unique Stars, and that should have them, reaching double digits pretty soon. And it's going to force 5Power to consider this B play with the pistols that they have brought up in this half buy. And it's going to be difficult for this to be successful if the B players are on point, and they are both. Oh, this is interesting. They're both by the van. This might not be all that ideal. Have to see if they can recover. The spray, the tracking is fairly good there for Ponct. He does get 2. Infernal still alive. Picked up the bomb carrier. That's down on the floor now, as his teammates will rotate in and finish the job.
Shut it down.
8-3 for Unique Stars. And a really dodgy buy coming in from 5Power, where they don't think they will be able to afford any grenades again. Two smokes, not a single flashbang purchased.
Yes, this has been a common occurrence over these minors. But we can't blame 5Power too much because of the stand-ins, but the other teams have less of an excuse to prioritize rifles so much over utility. Kaze all over the shop. He's the man you want on a sniper rifle at all times. He's gone naked for this round. With a good spawn, it is dangerous for the CTs to jump on the box, which is why on rare occasion you'll see a CT get boosted as well, because you'll have your accuracy back faster in the fashion in which they do it, and it's a safer peak ever so slightly. Kaze getting another shot off. This time it's a kill. Moving through the A bomb site now are these Ts. Infernal rotating towards CT spawn. Nertz in connector. Ponct looking to flank all the way into T ramp. Bomb not down just yet. There is a flashbang, but it's poorly positioned attempt to plant the bomb for short. That will delay even more and allow Ponct to get into position. Moxie going for a spray transfer. Kaze still trying to deliver a kill, but he's alone now versus 3. He is surrounded. The helicopter lights are on, and Ponct will finish off the job with the MP7. Double AWPs taken into the next round by Unique Stars, and 5Power are in trouble.
Yeah, you start to wonder if they needed that CT side to be first, because Mirage T side is actually quite technical. Obviously, it can look flashy, and you can see a lot of individual skill dominating it, but it is often set up by fairly advanced tactics. And, we're not seeing too much of that from 5Power, understandably so, with the stand-ins. So maybe they needed that CT side first. And the question is here, can they get to 5 rounds so they can have a chance when they swap over? Because Unique Stars are getting into the flow of things at the moment. Insanity will be wrapping around Connector to aid the push onto the A bomb site, where there are 3 CTs currently. 2 CTs sitting in the B apartments at the moment. They are very far away, but perhaps they will not even be required. Nertz will start things off well for Unique Stars.
Great play in the corner of the smoke, and Arquez need not take any... Well, actually Nertz is in the middle of the site, so... I'm just waiting for 5Power. There is the bomb. That's getting greedy. Ooh, dear. And that's 10 rounds for Unique Stars. Double figures! Can only assume that he ran out of bullets there or something.
3-man mid push, Unique Stars, let's go. That's what I want this round. Give it to me. I imagine they'll probably just keep playing pretty passively and standard, because that's been working out for them. Although we do get a mix-up here from Anarquez with his AWP, looking for the aggression, but it will be another A round from 5Power, and perhaps this push towards the underpass stairs will suggest that and give an early rotation here for Unique Stars.
Shasage by the chair. 4 players on A. Shasage picking off Anarquez, rotating back from the underpass. And I did wonder, because Nertz basically smoked himself off from supporting Anarquez, rotating back into mid, so that's something to review. And now 5Power are all over the A site, so yeah, that was an unusual exchange. The bomb manages to get planted while the smoke dissipates, but Nertz picks off the bomb planter. 2 versus 3. This is a very unusual round. Shasage now moving towards CTA. Not so much for UNIQUESTARS to do. They've got money for the last round, however, so they pretty much have to go for it. Flames towards the firebox. With the bomb that ticked, maybe they wanted to drop the smoke on the bomb itself. However, unlikely it may be to defuse it, but here we are. I think like in my opinion, the plays we have seen in mids have issues. Like, look at this. Okay, I thought there was a smoke there. I'm sure he threw a smoke somewhere. I'll need to look at it in the demo. Either way, there's no support for him to rotate out. It's simply not safe for him to do that. And it should be.
Well, Narquez, he's been trying to be all over the place. Last round, we saw the underpass push, and this round, close position with on pits, which is a really nice one for the AWP. Some good damage going in there from Infernal. Trying to keep tabs on what's happening in middle. We push out of it though, and look at this dive onto the sides. Nert's defending. Nert's has been a pretty reliable pair of hands, generally speaking, in most situations. Just pushing all over the place here. Lots of 1v1s all around the map, and it will go the way of UNIQUESTARS largely here. Kuka could change that though. He's going to catch a jumping Anarquez. The bomb needs to make its way onto the A sites. It is very far away. And Moxie is so very weak with it. He does not have confidence to move around. He spotted someone in CT. Kuka has to cut a path. He's got to get the machete out. Cut a path through the very, very troubling areas of Mirage here. There's just no way for Moxie to safely make it onto a site now. He's been so paranoid for a very long time about the player in pits. Who's repositions.
That smoke grenade looked completely random. It has, I think, landed on a roof somewhere. But there is one CT per site. Now, Moxie can't check everything. And that will be round number 11 for UNIQUESTARS. The way it should go, really, all things considered. And now it's down to UNIQUESTARS to close it out in the second half.
Yep, it could be over quickly to get a nice pistol round going for themselves. It'll be very difficult for 5Power to come back. You know, the force buys will start coming in. But perhaps 5Power will be fortunate on their pistol. They've got the smoke kill onto Kaze. Everybody else going for the Kevlars, looking for a fight. And a quick B-rush coming in from UNIQUESTARS. And this might work out really well here because 5Power are actually sitting on A with 3 players, which is actually fairly unusual. Most teams play A retake, and I think we're about to see why.
That smoke you saw lined up is for the end of short, around the bricks where you would boost. It's a nice smoke to know. I learned it from watching Guardian when he was on Na'Vi. He would often throw that smoke grenade. And even if you're a lurker towards B, it can cause problems, and lead people into guesswork. Kaze and QKA remain 2 versus 4. There it is, they lose the pistol round. So when you go through the arch in apartments, you kind of just go back into the corner and line up just to the left of that tower. But if you go too far to the left, then it will... Well, it used to mess up because they're of the invisible ceilings and things, but maybe now it wouldn't with the changes to the Mirage ceiling. But it can be cool because if it can sometimes pull a CT who's playing aggressive short back into the B bomb site if they think, for example, that there's a play going to be towards B. So you can use that to make life easier for your teammates who are in mid. If you throw some flashes and so on, get aggressive. Very simple things which can take you a long way. So this is a lineup for Connector. We'll bounce on the roof and allow UNIQUESTARS to take control of Connector. You can see the pop flash has already come in as Nertz makes his way. I'm not sure if you check the left-hand side. By the way, the bomb I think has been spotted.
Oh, no.
QKA with the CZ putting in work, and seems this 5-power force buy will be quite successful. Earth, Wind, Fire and all that.
Yeah, it's looking really good. And they'll be able to pick up so many guns as well in this round. So Punked, his initial mission now has to be do damage, get kills, so that there's less guns picked up. Oh, well, he will be sandwiched. He will be a sandwich. And he will be consumed. So 5Power just throwing a cog into the works there for UNIQUESTARS. We can see the CZs doing the job there. And yeah, usually the B split is a fairly reliable way to do the anti-force buy, but UNIQUESTARS struggling there, and they will force buy back themselves as a quick answer to 5Power's small success. And 5Power, they're going up the underpass stairs with 2 players. This is going to be rather troubling here for UNIQUESTARS. They have nothing to defend against this.
Wow.
That was a beautiful read.
Shut it down! Shut it down! Where are you going? You've been arrested. They all got tased, bro. Half the score, though, of their opponent now, 5Power. That is a fantastic anti-force buy round. That's like one of the most successful ones I've seen recently.
It's a good read, but if UNIQUESTARS had decided to go A instead, then then it looks silly. Although they do get information, but oh god, you're looking a little bit silly.
Got A to when that happens. Ooh, okay. The bomb has been picked off already on the A side. I was going to say, I saw the players on the radar moving away, but the job has already been done. Now, if we see UNIQUESTARS look to take mid again, if we see the player top mid throwing the smoke on connector, for those of you 10 ATP players, keep an eye on where the grenade is when he throws it, because on 10 ATP, you line up the grenade with the corner of an aerial to throw the smoke top mid. So if that does happen, then keep an eye out for that. Nertz is moving into top mid position, maybe, but he's been counter flashed off for now, so we'll have to wait and see. 2 smokes in the mid position for now. Seems UNIQUESTARS might be looking for something quick towards B, but they won't be offered something just yet. In the meantime, and we've got a very aggressive positioning on the ramp from Insanity. Now Aniquez is looking either for a jump peek or for someone to get onto the boxes. There's a jump peek, and the apex of his jump was visible for too long, and Aniquez took him out of the sky like a clay pigeon.
And it's good that they decided to back up there. For a moment, it almost looked like he wanted to go in. And, you know, it's 1 minute, just over 1 minute left. You've got that 5v4. It's perfect. And, oh, that is also perfect from QK. Doesn't sit on the 4v5. Decides to go and play for information, take a risk, and it's going to pay off. They're going to realize that the Ts were doubling back towards A. The CTs are coming, and it's a very nice shot there from Aniquez, but the trades will come in spades here for the CT side. 5Power looking to shut this down. UNIQUESTARS now with 40 seconds, and it's not looking too good here for them. They don't really have a solid way to get into the bomb site, and if they do, planting the bomb will be nigh on impossible. They don't have smokes, flashes, or anything really to deter these CTs from having angles on the plant spot. And there's 25 seconds to go. They're going to run into B. Now B could work out. There's no one with an angle on it, I don't think, just yet. I do believe that Kaze cannot see that. He's not even on ticket, so he can't even see into connector. So this could actually work 10 seconds. They must plant, and QK could ruin everything. Looking to spoil the day, looking to thwart the plans. Oh, he goes down straight away. Specs ready for that. Upgrades to the AK. Now it's on. There's a real chance here for UNIQUESTARS. And Arquez surviving, 11 HP. Kaze coming in, the last man standing from the short position. Now Specs may get a spot on him if he goes for a quick stand and then duck. Kaze moving in with the deagle, that's not a good sign. Ooh, that was close. That could have been it, but he's looking to save the AWP now. Knows there's not enough time. And UNIQUESTARS, they found the one singular way to win the round, which was to go B through short.
Talk about a hero frag. I can't believe that they managed to plant the bomb in that situation. That's absolutely bananas. A huge play from UNIQUESTARS. Huge. That was monumental. Let's have a look at the replay. Look at the flick. That is why you have to jump earlier. That is massive. When you jump peek the apartments, you have to jump earlier, so the apex of your jump is maybe the beginning of where you're visible. Like he's going up and then back down again. He's just way too visible to his opponent there. So we've got Nerds creeping on short. Shao Sage is on short as well, and the rest of them are charging into the A site with mixed results. But Infernal has got 2. Ponct will get picked off in the middle of A. And but Infernal's made his way towards CT, so the bomb can be planted default. Nerds picked off in the mid in the time being. And now Specs can throw a pop flash for Infernal to peek deeper later on. Now Infernal's the only man with a flashbang. 2 players coming in from the connector position. QKA still coming very slowly, moving towards the jungle position now. Specs, will he be heard jumping into the smoke? Just got to play it slow. Now Infernal can throw a pop flash just to distract these players. They're blocking each other in the smoke, but will they realize? Specs goes for the 180 just in time. They're lining up for him. And now it's Infernal. The bomb is planted for him. That is such a huge frag from Shao, but I don't think they've got it. They've got no kit. They've got to get out. Or Shao had the kit, but he got the kill. And there is the round. 14 for UNIQUESTARS. Once again, double their opponent. But they've saved 2 AWPs this CT side, so who knows what will happen now.
So, pronunciation update, James.
I saw it on Twitter, right? But I don't know if these people are always correct, man.
He said he played with him.
Oh, well, maybe he is then. Or maybe he's lying. How do we know?
QKA and Shao Sage. Shaw Sage. Not, yeah, Shaw Sage. Oh my god. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Henry. MHCSGO.
Right, we can trust him, yeah.
Double orbs for 5Power. It's a strong answer, generally speaking, for your CT side Mirage. But can they move forth with confidence here? They've got a troubling scenario upon them. Staring down the barrel of defeats, 2 rounds away, UNIQUESTARS. UNIQUESTARS looking to potentially run it. It's just a distraction play here towards the B side of the map as the bomb and 2 helpers are on the A side of the map here. We've got Insanity close to the pit. Insanity could do so much damage. If he drops the bomb straight away, that's a big problem. The MP9, it's really good for these angles. There goes the flash. Will they check this? Yes, they will, but that's a fast frag from him. Unreturned, there's no trade. Where is the trade? Now everyone is tunnel visioning on this point, and 5Power completely crushed this push. They absolutely murder it.
Schoolboy football on the A site for the T's. Running out of Palace to try and save your friend is not advisable. And what has this done to the money of UNIQUESTARS? There are some rounds to collect here for 5Power. UNIQUESTARS will, or should rather, have a limited impact on the on 5Power for this round. We'll see if 5Power can hold. It's going to be a simple one from UNIQUESTARS. Charge out of the A site play of Palace, rather. Play the numbers. We've got a fade away from Insanity and a Molotov as well. Oh boy, that is an exchange. And now we're in a 2 versus 2. Nurse has picked up an AWP. They don't have bomb plant pressure just yet. They've got plenty of time on the clock. And there's another frag. Now QKA remains, and he's missed his shot. The crouch peek from Nerds. What an unreal round from UNIQUESTARS. But then again, it is a tough spot for 5Power from start to finish. And maybe this is the finish now.
Yeah, match points. UNIQUESTARS about to eject 5Power from the server. 5Power have a decent... They have some firepower on them, but no nades really. And Moxie is a bit naked. Just a little bit, James. Only a bit. So I'm just trying to trigger you as much as possible.
A little bit naked.
Yes, everything is...
I hate who you have become.
Okay, so Ponct will start things off with a frag in the Palace area. Slow burner here, and Kaze is looking for his moment to strike with that Mag 7. Now, if they do decide to go down there, there's many ways to pop flash the close position. And look how suspect UNIQUESTARS are of shenanigans in this round. They are really burning a lot of time here. They're not moving a muscle anywhere on the map. It is a complete standstill everywhere. It's as though time is frozen. It's as though everyone has connection interrupted. And
they all spot a play on the underpass, and now off they go. They're confident, but the smoke is there. They're going to push through it. Oh, that could have been so much worse with the Mag 7. It's unfortunate for Kaze. Now, Unique don't want to overplay their advantage here because they're at match point. Play your normal game. 33 seconds, and they start to move into the A side. You see Nertz doing the recon, which is really smart. Then wait for the team to catch up because that could get worse for you. 2 players left. 1 in CT. Down goes a smoke. 20 seconds to plant this bomb. A second smoke being deployed. Ooh, that's a nice shot. And Nertz will answer in kind. Reload will tell him exactly where he is. Oh, he took one for the team there. That may have saved the plant.
QKA coming in now. UMP in hand, not ideal for this, honestly. He could really use a rifle. And he has found one. That is perfect. M4 picked up.
There's no kit then.
In goes Moxie. Oh, that's beautiful there. Does spot out Specs. Trying to hide, trying to delay. Smoke comes out. Defuse full. Defuse comes in. Oh my god. QKA saves the day with a USP. Spamming it out. And 5Power barely win this round. But the money was collected and the damage has been done. And rebuys will be tough for them. Of the nades at least.
They've broken UNIQUESTARS. Do they go for that? A fast play with a few flashes again? They should have won that. They didn't. They have rounds, though. They have rounds. Only one more round is required. No flashes. 2 deagles. A few things here, a few things there. I'm surprised they didn't go for another flash play, be it to A or B, based on the success of the previous rounds. Perhaps A would have been somewhat predictable, but they've managed to get close with these numbers. And that may mark the end of the round. Ponked in mid. Miles away from the bomb. 2 players in connector. Got to be careful around these smokes. And there it is. 5 rounds away are 5Power. 1 round at a time. This is doable. They have won most of the rounds in this half. So after winning a horrible situation, perhaps we should not count them out just yet.
Yeah, it's always going to be a bit easier on the CT side than playing that T side as a mixed team. It's difficult on the T side. It's technical. Definitely going to be harder. But that said, they are still effectively a mixed team, and they are playing against the team. And so they've been providing a valiant defense so far against the strats of UNIQUESTARS. So 5AK is going to have not the best situation on the nades. They've got 5 smokes at least, so we might see a set piece on A. It might just be as simple as that. We get 3 players, 4 players. Okay, looks like they have called A with smokes, and they've got 1 man in mid looking to go through connector. Perhaps Ponk's going pretty quickly up the short position, standing down, and in goes the rest of UNIQUESTARS.
Charging into the site. K is trying to delay things, trying to run distraction. Sanity will be traded, and there goes Kays as well. 2 versus 3 now. There's still a man advantage here for 5Power. All 3 players have kits, but they're smoked off. It seems that the T's maybe... Well, what's the play here? They'll be relying on Infernal. Anakez in the shadow position. Ooh, the spray. He's going to bait him out. He's going to reveal the position. Maybe feeling that they knew where he was, I suppose, because that can't have been the plan. And then they know that the bomb planter is trapped in the site, and I think this is falling to pieces for UNIQUESTARS. Yeah. I think Infernal, with the time on the clock, was maybe rotating through mid, but I guess they didn't feel like they would survive in that position. There is still time for Infernal. Does he hear the sound from Moxie? He's got the angle, almost baits Moxie into it, but he's not expecting QKA to be coming from the CT spawn position. Surely, will he peek it? QKA with a free kill at the end, and now it's 4 rounds.
Yeah, it seemed as though maybe Anarchez panicked a little bit there when he's getting tagged through. there was no reason for them to. There was no information for them to know that he was there. So I think the panic must have gotten the better of him. Because I agree with you. You know, you just have to hold it there. You just have to commit to the play that you're going for with your team. And Inferno was rotating around. Either way, it's in the past. Kaze, can he hit the jump shot? Oh well, he will actually back away before seeing the D-run boost. Oh, they didn't actually even work. But never mind. It's clean mids. They have been allowed to set foot there, but they are not allowed to set foot into the bomb sites. They'll be slowly but surely will be eliminated. Kaze's got to be careful. Player right below him.
Where the flashbangs at, man? They had more success where they had, I mean, just get one flash. At least. And now I do wonder if UNIQUESTARS are going to choke. They have all the advantages. They have 4 of their 5 players versus 2 of the 5 here for 5Power. Now let's see what they are able to do, UNIQUESTARS. The bomb going towards the A area. Ponkt and Nerds moving forward. Annika's holding an angle top mid. He'll be flashed off, but no one is challenging him. Insanity is not shy to get aggressive on A ramp. Once again, he's just in a very forward position. Moxie will be playing close A as well. 1 minute 30 on the clock. UKA smoked off the B area. He won't be shy to get onto the balcony. I don't know what happened to Inferno. I must have missed that, but he's on 5 HP somehow. Presume he got AWP'd.
Perhaps he was performing a blood ritual. Trying to summon some kind of magic to finish off this very last round that they need. Looks like they will explode onto B, and there's an ample defense that is ready for that. You've got Kaze with the AWP. He's first contact, and if that's not bad enough, you've got QKA, who's been pretty solid to back him up as rifle support, and quick behind that is Shore Sargate from short. So there's the first frag. The bomb is spotted. The rotation begins. They've got Insanity coming from T-spawn as well. There is not much about this that looks very good here for UNIQUESTARS, and they are going to back away and abort this push, and they have actually gotten into window. There might be a chance. 25 seconds to get that bomb down, though.
Oh, that's a big frag onto Insanity, but Shao Sage in the short position may be able to do something about this bomb making its way towards A. That's delaying everybody. He gets both kills. Moxie gets both kills, and this is falling to pieces. UNIQUESTARS, do you have it in you to close this out? You've got so many advantages. 10 seconds now, and surely there's no way this bomb plant gets made. Moxie on the site will finish off the job. UNIQUESTARS are running out of rounds now. Are they going to buy pistol again with no grenade? They've got a fair amount of loss bonus to use here. But this should have been closed when 5Power got that USP frag in the palace. And still, okay, they've got a flashbang this time. 1 flashbang and a bunch of smokes.
UNIQUESTARS going supernova. Looking for that deagle pick. QKA happy to challenge it seems. Out he goes. 3 players spotted. Does pick off 1. Some cursory spam afterwards, and he's got the rifle support of Shore Sargate behind him. FivePower, they look like they are good for overtime here. 1 more after this one, and they're in. UNIQUESTARS. A side that has mostly their own team. 4 of the 5. Should be picking up these rounds on the T side. QKA definitely filling themselves with this comeback so far. Nerds to offer some just nuisance towards the end, but he will be promptly dealt with. We're going to the 30th round, and an overtime is a very likely possibility considering the success that 5Power have found on this CT side. UNIQUESTARS, they may be having issues here.
I really wonder if they were hesitant to play their normal game once they reached match point. Everything suddenly changed after all the momentum they had. But here we are, the last round in normal time. And there's a big focus on the A side. Once again, ooh, spotted through the flames, but neither player falls. And there are 3 players for 5Power very, very close indeed. And all the frags going the way of the CT side so far. The flashes through the smoke. This is a complete disaster for UNIQUESTARS. The bomb's in front of the smoke. The spray continues. There are 4 CTs here. Oh dear. It should almost definitely go to overtime.
Yeah, I think it's
but it
very...
has no right to.
No, I think it's very telling, isn't it? That sort of spray battle that Moxie had with, I'm not sure who it was, down at the pit. Because Moxie, they almost did like a full 30 bullet spray down between both of them, and Moxie escaped with 0 points of damage taken. He did not get hit once, which really is a good thing for him, of course, but it's quite telling of how all these last rounds have been for UNIQUESTARS. Just such a struggle. And Marquez is trying to do this, but 25 HP, the bomb down has to be collected. The CTs know that he has to go and get it. There's only so many ways you can do that. 35 seconds to go. Sure, Sage will finish him off, and that is overtime here for 5Power. Of course, if you are just joining us, UNIQUESTARS, they won the first map, Train, and now on Mirage, 5Power putting up much more of a fight, and perhaps there's even an internal fight going on for UNIQUESTARS. A mental fight, that is.
The best, I mean, they have to forget that now. They know that they should have closed it out, but they have a chance to do the same again. All eyes on UNIQUESTARS. This is their map to win. It's their 2-0 to achieve. And 5Power, you must feel like, have absolutely no pressure in this, well, in this whole tournament, really. But no doubt our UNIQUESTARS feeling the pressure of winning.
Yeah, it's not a good look so far. Kazi will be completely blocked off by the smoke. Sage doing a good, well, actually only 1 frag. Might not be enough here because that will not slow down the pace of these players. It's the AUG that will be brought to bear here from QKA. He'll be quickly dispatched by the oncoming Ts. And of course, we're seeing maybe the best chance of the round in the first round of overtime for UNIQUESTARS.
They're playing the normal game.
Such is the way of how this goes.
Yes, it's crazy, isn't it? But it's a release of pressure when it's the first round of overtime. The mental war just to try and beat you sometimes. Yes. Yeah, they've gone back to that fast. I mean, playing against a mixed team and going for these fast plays, it makes it harder for this team of 5Power to organize themselves. But then against match point, everything slowed down. And Kays may have to just try to hold on to this AWP at this point.
Yes, it is super important, isn't it? It is. They actually, I mean, QKA bought an AUG, which is every little bit of money counts when you're talking about overtime, because if you lose those first 2 rounds, you are not buying on the last round. Well, you are. You're forced buying. It's going to be a terrible buy is the points. And so he will manage to keep the AWP alive and actually frag everybody who challenged him at the end there, so that's always very nice. But
AUG on Mirage is curious. Not often you see that. Especially the full spray scoped in. I don't know what that was.
They are going for broke here. QKA is going to double up on the AWPs. And makes the jump across onto the fence towards short. Very fast timing. Oh, not getting the reward, though, of that good movement. He will be forced back by flashbangs, and indeed we're seeing that continued fast pace. Specs may have had actually a chance to get a frag there, but it will be Nerds instead, and that A site will be opened up.
Specs is doing some Tony Hawk business in the middle position, and Insanity has been compromised.
They're a different team right now, James.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's... Ooh, that's your teammate. Everybody calm down. Yeah, this is the UNIQUESTARS that we needed to see when they reached match point, but instead of like, okay guys, we're going to win this. Everybody do nothing. Yeah. Everybody calm down.
No one make a mistake.
No, just play your game.
No one take any risks.
Yeah.
Or you're kicked from the team.
Get to the point of winning, and then suddenly it's playing not to lose instead. But if they are to finish this off now, then there is a lesson to be learned there. And that gets better with experience. 5Power. Now this is the round where you may expect something funky after the buys in the previous 2 rounds. CT's often caught short in round number 3. There were 4 smokes down in the mid position, still 3 up for now. QKA moving through B-Apps, which was smoked off as well, but Infernal is waiting. 1 AWP and a bunch of crap. See if 5Power can do anything.
Yeah, there's a good amount of utility for UNIQUESTARS to bait out some of these positions, or rather force them out of the positions with the Molotovs, the smokes.
That jump is so inefficient. As we mentioned before, he's begging to be shot in the chest.
Boost into the site, that could be good. It depends how much time UNIQUESTARS also leave themselves with as to how good that position will be. Ponct is going to realize the A site is completely open, or maybe it's not. No idea he's being shot from, taking down long range with the CZ, and this actually looks very troubling here for UNIQUESTARS, but there it is, QKA revealing his position, and there is 30 seconds left. The bomb is in the apartment still. They have to frag out here. There's no other choice. They have to make this work. They have to force their way through, but it's looking very labored, very arduous at this point. That's a nice one for Specs right before he runs out of bullets, and they are making this work. Insanity with a very important Molotov. That's a great tap as well, and another one, and that will finish things off. That's one round. That's some safety, just a tiny safety net for 5Power going into the second half of overtime.
Much needed round for the side. Stops them playing against 3 match points. But of course the pressure is high here. Although definitely, even though they're losing, I still feel like the pressure is mainly on UNIQUESTARS. They are the ones who seem to be suffering from it. Whereas 5Power will be thinking, okay, we have a chance to take this to map number 3. If they were able to win this, you do wonder what that would do psychologically to UNIQUESTARS. You may feel almost embarrassed that a team of 3 stand-ins have taken them to 3 maps. And that's not something that you need to worry about or care about. Whatever. You just play. But easier said than done.
Yeah. Is that like a cherubim on one of the T-shirts there? That's quite interesting. Yeah. Does that also say porcupine?
That's a porcupine.
And there's a little cherubim on top, which is really strange. Not sure what's going on there, but interesting. I'm curious. It grabbed my attention. It's working. Set piece onto the A site here for 5Power. And Ponct is in a good position. Doubling up on Shadow can be effective if you're able to slow the T's down towards that pit position. And that relies on Infernal holding Palace as well, making sure that the Palace T cannot take down these Ts here. But look at the flames absolutely everywhere. But Ponct gets himself a double. Nertz will burn down Kaze. And now there's no one left.
Shahsage had a look in sandwich but didn't check it properly. And I think Infernal killed his teammate afterwards. And that is match point for UNIQUESTARS. 2 rounds to go. And perhaps it will be less pressure for them now. They're on a CT side. Will they go for any crazy plays in mid, however? We've seen a few of them. 2 match points. Is this the end of the line for 5Power? A noble effort either way.
Ponct going aggressive. This is good to see the aggressions here. This will get a lot of information. They see nothing in the B apartments. They can only assume that it's A. And indeed, he calls for A. There's no need to have anyone in B at this point. They'll start to rotate 3 around middle for the time being, and Ponct will spot 1 person in the middle. That's Insanity gone. He was effectively the lurker for this push to come into the prevent rotation through middle.
Oh boy, they're executing into A without the bomb. Moxie's having to go back for it, and he's lost the fight with Ponct. Oh. That is very unfortunate indeed. And now QKA is having to do that, which leaves the other 2 players in a worse off position on the A site. 5Power, they lost 3-2 to the home office, and they may lose 2-0 here to UNIQUESTARS. Bomb collected. QKA rejoining his teammate. Moving up to the Tetris position. No more smokes. 3 flashes and less than a minute to get things done here. Now it's just down to K's, and that is the end of the line. UNIQUESTARS eventually will get the 2-0 versus an ill-equipped 5Power, who did their best, and again, but congratulations to UNIQUESTARS.
Yeah, it was definitely a laboured effort for UNIQUESTARS, and definitely some lessons to be learned, but it's good that they didn't fold right at the end and have to play a 3rd map, because that should never have been the case. So you can see that they're in good spirits after closing that one out, and they righted the ship. You know, they righted the ship, they're having problems, and they righted the ship, so that's always good.
Yeah, and I think that will help. The experience, the pressure, and so on. They know what it feels like, and I mean that's maybe the biggest match they've ever played, if you think about it. So you can't blame him for having nerves, but again, that is Stripes. They've just put stripes on their chest, and hopefully they will be stronger for the next one.
The wiggly stripes.
Chevrons, almost.
Yeah. Flowers. It's great. Anyway, what's happening now, James? What do you do now? Waiting for an interview, I guess, right?
You told me you're talking about flowers there.
I know. What's wrong with that?
I didn't say anything wrong was wrong with it.
Yeah.
I just said that's what you were doing.
Yeah. So then maybe it's your time to think of something to say. I think there's not too much to be gained after. I mean, I think we did a lot of analysis of the actual matchup there, and I think a lot of it was them. I think that was a really cool match actually, because effectively 5Power, as you say, they're not supposed to win that game, and so this was really cool to just see like the nerves get settled, like get another win under the belt in a best of 3, have the nerves get settled for the team that actually has 4 players instead of 2 of the core. So I think that's exactly what they needed to, moving forwards, the Israeli team.
Freya will be asking them more questions. She is with UNIQUESTARS, the winners of that 2-0.
Yes, that's right, James. I'm here with the winners, UNIQUESTARS. So, Infernal, how are you feeling coming off that win?
Feeling pretty good. We played very, very well, but we almost lost the Mirage. But we played our own game and take the picks and do whatever we need.
So, on train, you guys had a really good CT side. What did you do? What was your team's strategy?
Yeah, on train, we have a lot of strats on City, like aggressive, and we change a lot of setups in City, so...
Yeah, that's what unique. We're changing a lot. We have so many setups. We're not predictable, like always changing,
So do you think that's what went wrong going into Mirage? Do you think they predicted what you guys were going to do?
I think what happened in Mirage is that we weren't ready for the 3 ops that they play, or 2 ops on the City side, and we kind of didn't know how to play for that setup, so we kind of struggled.
We could close the game earlier, but we lost a lot of runs with man advantage, 5-on-3, and etc. That's it.
So
we won the overtime.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you guys managed to win out in overtime. Did you just refocus and go back to playing your game?
Yeah, we saved one extra tactic to the the Joker, the split B, and it worked perfectly. So. Yeah.
So 5Power actually had 3 stand-ins. Did you think that was kind of an advantage for you, or was it a bit difficult because you didn't know how they were going to play?
I think it's a little bit of advantage, but it was kind of randomly. They played randomly in the T side, and we didn't expect some explodes on A, on B, and we were very surprised. So
Specs, Ponkt is actually a stand-in for you guys at the moment. How does he fit in with the team?
We did prac with him for 2 days, 3 days. It's not enough, but we're doing okay. Like in the middle of the game, he's reacting really good, and he knows how to play.
So how has his role changed within the team, do you think?
I think Ponkt is in the same role of Hydra, the guy with the issues, and the same. It worked the same. He have the same firepower.
He's doing whatever Hydra should do.
Cool, so you guys are now going up against Tainted Minds in a minute. How are you feeling going up against them? Because you guys lost to them earlier.
Yeah, I think the first match that we played today, we was all very nervous, and now we're,
maybe a bit tired. We lost a lot of echoes. I think we could win them on the first match, but let's see now. Yeah. I hope we win.
Cool. Good luck. Yeah. Good luck in that next game. Thank you guys very much. And congratulations on the win. We're going to head back over to the analyst desk.
Thank you so much, Freya. Yes, indeed, Chad Burchill and Blair. I'd go with
Do his full name, I dare ya.
Huh?
Do his full name.
Try it. Sudan.
This starts with a W.
Sudan W period. All right, moving forward, let's go ahead and try to make some sense of just how that one got so close here on Mirage, guys.
Ooh, it kind of felt like the moment was getting the better of UNIQUESTARS. The idea of getting a victory in this kind of environment seemed to speed up the pace of their T side, and they were making some blunders of calls, getting stuck in a little bit quickly when they could have slowed it down and maybe played to their strengths, which is their strategy and the fact that they actually have a better base than that of 5Power.
Yeah, and also like once the overtime started, it felt like they kind of reset their minds.
Yes, definitely.
And we saw a couple of really cool runs. I won't lie. It was a little too late for us, I think, to get for production to show it here, but it was a really cool T side. And the final round they won, right? Minute and 20 seconds remaining on the clock, and they already have a CT player in T spawn. They were taking initiative, and they just planned to close it out in the end. A little bit of nerves, but I think they should be fine.
While we have the stats on screen here, Trace, I would love to point out the individuals of this 5Power roster who were able to put up numbers and have really cool rounds and individual plays to stand out for me. QKA was one, especially on train with the AWP, and then I think on, I'm not going to do his full name, I'm just going to call him Sage, on old mate Mirage there on the T side when it was free flowing and they were doing those fast executes. He was finding himself a lot of kills in the mid rounds, and then Kaze on the first map as well, he was having a fantastic performance. He had that ace there, which was sick. So that's kind of, these guys are putting themselves in a shop window, I suppose. If you didn't already know they're talented, they can get picked up and maybe form a nice cohesive unit down there in Asia. But that's the end of the road for 5Power.
And also, like, on Mirage, right, that comeback, I think it was like 15-8, 15-9 coming back there. Sure, UNIQUESTARS might have dropped the ball a little bit over there, but credit where it's due. These guys actually held on. They were, like, grinding it out round by round, taking to overtime, but in the end, the stronger team coming out on top.
As expected.
As expected, but I think these guys should be pretty happy with the way that, hey, you know what? It's a pug team, 3 stand-ins coming in, but they somehow at least managed to make things a little competitive at the end.
Let's maybe dive into the fact of even rolling it all the way back to Train, right? We did make it to 3 maps, but perhaps Train could have went just a little bit differently.
I think, the first half, when you saw the slow default plays coming out from UNIQUESTARS, they got picked apart and they couldn't really adjust in the mid-round. But when they did the set pieces, when they did things as a unit, that's when they really thrived and were able to put rounds on the board there. I think it could have even been a more solid victory if they just continued for those plays. And then you saw there in the interview where they mentioned they have a lot of strategy on the CT side, a lot of aggressive setups, a lot of plays like that. And the AWPs, I think, were definitely a factor throughout, as both teams had some flashy moments with those orbs.
I got some flashiness for you guys. It's a head-to-head comparison of 2 players that we've identified both in the pre-match and now going forward as we kind of dissect this matchup as a whole. Anarchez and Kaze, I mean, for what it's worth, yes, both teams come in here with, an asterisk around them for having a stand-in, that, this, and the other. But what can either of these guys and perhaps either of these teams take away from this?
Yeah, one thing would be the fact that at least, okay, here's the thing, right? This 5Power team is not really a full lineup. Like, these guys just might go back, and Kazi's a free agent, Moxie's a free agent right now, and I think even QKA is a free agent, right? So for them, it's almost like saying, hey, you know what? We still got what it takes.
Yep.
We're available. We can pick it up. It's almost like an advertisement thing going on there for them. And then if it comes down to to UNIQUESTARS, though, again, we spoke about this earlier when they faced on the Tainted Minds. When they're in a 2v4 scenario, when they're in a 3v5, or like a man down, 2 men down, they have this composure. There was a one round in Mirage, right, where they just went towards the B bomb side, 2v4, just got the bomb down, won the clutch out. So I think they're going to be feeling confident. Completely agree with them. That the fact that they're going to be feeling confident, and maybe the nerves was spiking a little bit. So I think it's going to lead to a pretty interesting
last
series.
Yeah.
Chad, I think you have spiked on this one. We do have something that you've prepared exclusively. You've been working on it for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
And it's going to have to do with the UNIQUESTARS takes on Train, perhaps an execute at that.
Yeah, it was on the T side, and this is what I was just talking about in the sense of when they did these executes, when they made these set plays, that things were looking much cleaner for them. This was the last round of the first half where they did an outside execute. It was just a simple one. There's nothing crazy unique about this execute. It's very basic, but the fact that they did it as the team, you could see that the stress that puts on a unit like 5Power, who are more of a pug squad, right? They're stuck in positions where they're unable to trade. The kills come in. Everybody from the likes of UNIQUESTARS knows their flight path. They know what they need to do in these rounds, and you can see all the smokes, you see all the Molotovs. They're all in the right places to make this execute come to fruition and put a very nice final round on the board. A little bit shaky there with QK on the AWP, making some crazy flicks as it was trying to taper down in that 2v1 situation, but these are the rounds that UNIQUESTARS are going to have, and I think they're even going to be better executes than what we saw from Tainted Minds, because theirs was more about contact plays, more about playing off each other as a team. So strategy is something for UNIQUESTARS that's going to be really important in that following series.
And also what really tickles my mind and makes me feel a little optimistic about things would be the fact that, hey, they still have the stand-in. They also mentioned that, I forget his name, and Spox? Punked. Punked. Actually,
Thank Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah.
There's an O there, but anyway, he actually fit into the role of he came as a stand-in, but it seems like it really didn't detract from their executes, right? You expect them not to see that many set pieces, but I just saw quite a few of them on train, like you just pointed out right now. We saw it in Mirage as well on overtime in a couple of rounds, where it felt like they knew where to slot him in, and he was playing his role right. So if that's the case, if this stand-in factor has been kind of negated, it's really Tainted Minds should be a little bit like not worried,
edge,
but it should be ready.
Yeah.
It should be ready.
Well, you say Tainted Minds, and also you said Tickled Minds. Perhaps we dive into the Tickled Minds of this bracket and see exactly which matchups made the least amount of sense. Chad, what matchup made the least amount of sense that you could think of to this
None
point?
of them. This is, as I think we've pictured it throughout. I know for once we've said the way that things are going to unfold, and they have in that case. It's been the strategical minds of Unique Stars over 5Power. But to start off the day, Tyloo and Tainted Minds were a little bit slow to get off the mark. Then Tyloo, they pulled up their socks, they did up their laces nice and tight, and they gave Tainted Minds one of those spankings, a 16-2 on their best map, Mirage. And I know the Aussies are going to be pretty deflated after that one, so come out here with potential punishment for the Israelis is the last game of the day. The last game of Group B will be going down very shortly.
Yes, indeed, Chad Burchill. Thank you very much, Spud Flanagan. Yes, Tainted Minds versus the Unique Stars here will be our last matchup of the day. It will, in fact, be an elimination match. And, well, before we even jump into that, perhaps I should tell you about this little giveaway from our friends at FACEIT. Head over to faceitmajor.com/giveaway and go ahead and get it on. That's right below me. If you sign up there, you can try to win 2 million FACEIT points. And perhaps, if I'm not mistaken, I think you can even maybe get a Dragon Lore out of that. I don't know. If you don't win the Dragon Lore, don't Bible thump for me. Not my problem. It happens. But perhaps you use this code. It's going to be Miners20, and that's how you get a discount on your subscription to FACEIT Premium, which, dare I say, if you haven't done that already, well, you've kind of already messed up in your own right. But nonetheless, you do have time. Don't worry. Don't panic. Don't cry. None of that's necessary. You can still go ahead and let that be done. Also, get involved in your favorite social media platforms and channels using the hashtag FACEITMiner. That expands to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Does anybody use anything else these days?
Well, if they're the main three.
You could go to like China. I want to really stretch it with their Weibo.
Do they even have hashtags?
I don't know, man. They have lots of like weird emojis.
VK if you're in Russia.
Yeah. Well, either way,
yeah.
that does it for right now. We're going to jump into our last best of 3 of the day, an elimination best of 3 at that. It's going to be Tainted Minds. And I can tell you right now, these guys, they've been sitting and they've been waiting. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.